Alright, hey guys, how's it going? Raven here, and this is going to be my first episode of Gaming in 7, which is a new series I'd like to do weekly. Let's see how that schedule actually works out. But it's basically going to be like, for this episode, it's actually going to be like a pre-Orlando show. It's pretty much everything you need to know for Orlando, or anything you'd want to know, really. I'm not going to bore you with all like endless details. I'm just going to give you the basics of everything that's going on, and that's pretty much it. And then, so let's get into it. Okay, this first image here is going to be the list of the top 16 teams. These teams got onto this list basically by qualifying online. And so obviously you got like the common names. You have Leverage, Optic, Fear, Envy, the new team, Rambo's on Extravagant, which I'll get into that. And then it has a list of the teams with their captains there. You can pause the screen if you want to, but I'm not going to go into it right now because I'll go into the individual players next. This right here, this is a picture of the actual pools. We got Pool A, we got Leverage, Elite, Icons Elite, Juked, Redemption. Pool B is Optic, A4V, Twisted Method, which now I believe is going by Surreal Legacy. That's what they're calling themselves. Then you have Obey, Young Guns. Pool C is Fear, Abnormal, PGYK. And then you have Pool D, Envy, A4V, Icons Extravagant, and Next Threat. And then I'm also here, I'm going to break down the pools and just kind of give you my thoughts on them. So here we have Pool A. In Pool A we have first team Leverage, the members on Leverage. We have Aches, Scumpy, TP, and Fears. They dropped Proofy. I'm not quite sure the logic behind it, but Proofy has announced that he's going to stop playing competitive gaming after Providence, which is the Nationals, which is the event after Orlando, which is the final event on the circuit for this year. They picked up Fears. Leverage used to run with Fears before they picked up, I guess, Proofy and Scumpy, I think. They played with them on the 25K tournament before the actual MLG circuit came out, so it's not their first time playing together. Then we have Icons Elite, Ego, Terrorist, Sharp, and Killa. Ego's been around for a while, so is Sharp. They've been playing together. And then they got rid of Revan, and RJ34, I think, used to play with them. I'm not quite sure. And then you have Juked, which is Spacely, Image, Rec, and Nex. I always loved Nex. I used to watch Nex on Modern Warfare 2. Used to rock that tar with the holographic sight. And then we have Redemption, who is Grim, Samzors, Carbon, and Yesterday. I'm not too familiar with those guys, but they made top 16, so they got to be pretty good. And I'm also going to be giving you guys predictions just for the fun of it, just see how it turns out, and just kind of give you my opinions on the actual turnout of MLG Orlando. I'm going to go ahead and give this pool to Leverage, just for the simple fact that I feel they are more dominant in here, and I feel like they kind of feel they have something to prove, because they came out at Orlando, they came back against Fear, and they won the championship. Then they went into Rally, and they placed 6th. So that's kind of like not really a follow-up that you want to do. So I feel like they're going to come out of the image here, or come out of the gates, excuse me. And I also believe that they can potentially, although they did lose Proofy, I think they could do something with Fears here. Okay, and then moving on to Pool B, we have Optic, A4V, Twisted Method, which I said is now Surreal Legacy, I believe they're calling themselves. We have Obey and Young Guns. On Optic, we have Merc, Big Timer, JCap, and here's the big thing. They now have Proofy. They dropped Rambo. And this is huge, because that used to be one of the things everybody always said Optic had, was their team chemistry. But now this is the first time that they have a new person. But that looks like a really strong team then, because you have Merc, Big Timer, JCap, always consistent, and then now we're adding Proofy, who is like often called the greatest Slayer on Call of Duty. And then now moving on to Surreal Legacy, we have Kalani, Nameless, Served, and Nadeshot, which is interesting because Nadeshot is one of my personal favorite pro players. I just like watching him. So that'll be interesting to watch. And then we have Obey, which is Breezy, Episode, Triz, and RJ34. I think they've had relatively consistent placings, but I'm not quite sure how they all play together. But it'll be interesting to watch. And then we have Young Guns, which is Regrets, Phobia, Impact, and Immortal. They didn't do all that well, I guess, in Rally, but who knows? I mean, That's the one thing about Call of Duty is you do have some consistent players, but there are players that come out of the gates, they come strong and they go hard, and then you have some sometimes that sometimes you don't, and you don't meet up to expectations. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give this pool to Optic again, obviously for the simple fact that Proofy is a great addition, and Optic again is a consistent player. They placed third in Dallas, I believe. They placed first in Columbus, I believe that was the next event, and then they placed third in Anaheim, and then I think they placed third again in Raleigh. So they're looking for another title, and I think they will be really good. Okay, and then moving on to Pool C. This is Abnormal, Fear, PGYK, or Pretty Good Young Kids, and Force. Abnormal is Spoofy, Resno, Theory, and Example. Fear is Assassin, Physic, John, and Twiz, which is again is the same lineup they've had for the last few tournaments, and it's a very, very successful lineup, and I think they can go in it again. Because they came up in the rankings, they placed 4th, 2nd, 3rd, and 1st, respectively, in all the tournaments. We'll see if they stay on the grid, or maybe they might just drop off, but I highly doubt it. And then we have a new team. They're all players that we all know, but they are recently formed together. They call themselves Pretty Good Young Kids. It's Felonies, Fatalized, Crump, and Plasma. I'm interested to see how these guys are going to do. Because they've been scrimming a lot, just like pretty much every pro team, but they're hungry and they're looking out for a tournament title win. And then we have Force, which is Domo, Miles, Solo, and Huddle. And I think these guys too, they actually placed pretty well. They are 6th seed for this tournament, and they're coming out and they're looking to get a better placing than they have recently after coming in 2nd to Optic a few tournaments back. Going on to Pool D, excuse me. This is actually my favorite pool. This one actually looks amazing, and it's going to be so much fun to watch. We have Envious, which is Stainville, Dito, Liar, and Saints, which I think is an extremely strong team because you have Stainville and Dito. Again, Dito went off and was amazing at Raleigh, and we're picking up Liar and Saints. Both have been around for a while, and I think this team can potentially take it again, and maybe because Envy's been right on the cusp there. They've been so close to getting a 2nd or 3rd and playing in that finals, and they just barely lost it. I remember watching in Raleigh when they had to play Fear for the playoffs, and in the winners bracket finals, and I believe it was Physic pulled that flag straight up the middle. That was a memorable moment. But then we have A for V. They're calling themselves A for V this time. This is actually Team Collapse from Raleigh. This was the guys that came in. I believe they played through open bracket, and they came back and they were in the finals. And these guys just kind of stunned everybody. Out of they kind of came out of nowhere, but they're all pro players we know. Too Quick, Apathy, Parasite, and Pikachu. And they are all going to be so much fun to watch because we want to see if maybe it was fluke last time, or maybe these guys could bring it every tournament. And then here's the newly formed team, again with players we all know. But this is interesting because it's Rambo, Bob, Revan, and Karma. I'm not quite sure whether there was so much bad blood between Rambo and Optic. I don't feel that there probably would be. But he's got his own team now. Icons Extravagant is what they're called. And this will be interesting because I think these guys might be trying to come out of the gate, trying to prove something, which is going to be really fun to watch. And then the final team in Pool D is Next Threat, one of my favorite teams to watch, especially because of Vengeance. Vengeance is like one of the most consistent slayers I've ever seen. He always drops solid kills. So it's Vengeance, Virus, Mutation, and Censor. There was some speculation about Censor leaving the team, but he's on it for this tournament, and that's going to be really fun to watch. This entire pool, and I can't make too much of a prediction for this pool because this pool, there are just a bunch of good teams, and I'm not sure how they're all going to play against each other because we have Icons Extravagant. We don't know how they're going to play together, and then Envious is always going to bring it. A for V, I think they're going to bring it, and then Next Threat always brings it. So it's going to be a tough pool. So leave a comment below about what you guys think are who's gonna win, because to me that's an incredibly tough pool to pick. Now this image here is just the schedule of the Friday night gameplay. Friday we start off with the pregame show, all that fun stuff, and then at 5:30 we start Fear versus PGYK, which that's gonna be a fun match to watch because everybody loves Fear. We all watch Assassin and watch his clutches, which is so much fun to watch. And then we have PGYK, which are the newly formed team, and we're seeing if they can come out and bring it. Then at 6:45 we have Leverage versus Icons Elite. And let me just give you predictions for these matches too, just for the fun of it. Keep the trend going. I'm gonna give it to Fear, just for the simple fact that they are so strong, and I haven't seen PGYK play as much, but I think they could really bring it, and this might be a close match. Then the next match is Quantic Leverage versus Icons Elite. I'm going to go ahead and give this to Leverage. No offense to Icons, but I just think Leverage is trying to come in strong and trying to get this title, because they're trying to redeem themselves. At 8 o'clock we have Optic Gaming versus Surreal Legacy, which again, Surreal Legacy is that A for V Twisted Method with Kalani, Nameless, Nade Shot, and Served. This one, again, I'm going to give to Optic, because I think they're coming out too, because they're going to be hungry for this title, and they just picked up Proofy, so they're going to want to come out and just show everybody that they are not to be messed with, and they're here to win it all. Even though I would love to see Surreal Legacy do some work. And then 9:15, we have Eon Envy versus Quantic Next Threat. That's going to be a fun match to watch, because I love watching Envy. Just those guys have been around for quite a while, and Next Threat again, some of my favorite players. I'm going to give that one to Envy. I'm just going to say that one's going to be close, because I feel Next Threat is one of those teams that they should be doing better than they actually are. They have such great talent, but they just come in, like, they'll come in that pool. There's going to be a team in their pool that goes 4-0, and they're going to go 3-1. Their only loss is going to be to that 4-0 team. So they're a really good team. They're just on the edge. I think they might be able to push it this tournament, though. We'll just have to see. And then we have 10:30. We have A for V versus Icons Extravagant, which I think is going to be really fun to watch, because I think these teams are kind of going to be on the same playing field. This should be a good match. I want to give this one to Extravagant. I want to see Rambo come in. I want to see him do work. I know they've been scrimming a lot, and I think that's going to be a fun match to watch. Then obviously Saturday and Sunday we come back in with all the playoffs and bringing everybody together. And I think that's just going to be this tournament. MLG Orlando is going to be really fun to watch, and I'm going to be giving you guys, I guess, a kind of a wrap up on Sunday, maybe Monday, just that way I can give you all the stats and everything. But go ahead and leave some comments if you have any questions. The open bracket lineup has not been released, although they said they would release it yesterday on Monday the 11th. All these stats are current as of October 11th. 2011, and so this is really going to be a fun tournament, and I encourage you guys to watch the live stream. The stats are always going to be up there, and just enjoy the tournament, guys, and I hope you guys enjoy this. And I'm going to be bringing you more detail into the competitive community and what's going on with the pros, as well as the kind of like lesser known, I guess, highly competitive people, whether they be on game battles or ICN tournaments or things like that. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all later.